Hey, what's happening, DC Gamers? Me, the Guy01, and welcome to this week's versus episode on the Walkthrough channel. This week, it's a battle between Damage Control members. It's Iyo Sky versus Dakota Kai. It is our weekly birthday versus, and we had 4 birthdays this past week. It was Dakota Kai's birthday on May 6th. She turned 36. I did not realize that Dakota Kai was in her mid-30s. I thought she was still in like her 20s. And I mean that as a compliment. Completely. It was Kevin Owens' birthday on May 7th. He turned 40. May 7th was also Owen Hart's birthday. He would have turned 59 this year. And May 8th was Iyo Sky's birthday, turning 34. Again, Iyo, I did not realize she was in her mid-30s. Again, late 20s, early 30s at most, I thought. So we got quite a few things to talk about, as we got a couple of Backlash as well. So let's jump right in and begin with Backlash. First thing to talk about with Backlash is that the crowd for that event was amazing. It was just a crazy crowd. They reacted to everything. I mean, international crowds are always good. I mean, look at Clash at the Castle. But yeah, they had a great reaction. And it's funny because, you know, you have like American fans you have a good amount of American fans who are complaining and almost kind of making fun of how WWE has to go, you know, overseas in order to get reactions, and kind of criticizing WWE for, you know, doing so many events, you know, overseas, and the fact that they're doing now like pay-per-views overseas and like big pay-per-views overseas in other countries. But then when these events actually happen, American fans are like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, they were a much better crowd than we ever were. It's like, if you want more events, start actually caring when they show up. Because you got your work cut out for you if you want to compare with some of these international crowds. So, Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga beat Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, thanks to the assisting of a new Bloodline member, and Tonga Loa. So now we got 2 new members of the Bloodline, and I forget the relationship now. I think it's another cousin, and then it's like the brother of a cousin now. It's, man, the Uso, the whole like Anawahi family tree is just very confusing. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Cargill, I always mess up her last name. Oh no. Ow. Bianca and Jade beat Asuka and Kairi Sane in order to win the women's tag team titles, which that one, I remember last week I mentioned how basically all the outcomes of these matches for this pay-per-view were kind of already known before it happened. That was one that I was not sure of, actually. That was one where I was like, okay, this could go either way. And they decided to go with Bianca and Jade, which the crowd went nuts for, of course. I mean, they went nuts for everything. No matter who won, they went nuts for it. But we got new tag team champions. Bayley beat Naomi and Tiffany Stratton in order to retain the WWE Women's Championship. Damian Priest beat Jey Uso thanks to interference from Finn Balor and JD McDonough to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. After the match, Finn Balor and JD continued to attack Jey before being called off and even physically pulled off of Jey by Priest. He looked almost upset that they were basically got him as involved as they did. I got my And in the main event, Cody Rhodes defeated AJ Styles to retain the Undisputed Championship. Oh no. Which, I mean, there was no doubt for that one. Oh no. Whoop. I wasn't sure if I got that one or not. Moving on to Raw, it was announced at the top of the show that Drew McIntyre, we knew he was injured, but now it got confirmed that the injury is extensive enough that he has been pulled from the King of the Ring tournament. He was supposed to be in the first match of the night, but instead got replaced by Jey Uso. Jey Uso then faced Finn Balor in their King of the Ring tournament match. As I mentioned before, this was supposed to be Drew versus Balor. And Drew McIntyre came out during the match to confront Jey, seemingly very upset that he was not in this match. But it wasn't enough to keep Jey from winning, as Jey defeated Finn Balor to advance in the King of the Ring. Iyo Sky beat Natalya to advance in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Dragunov beat Ricochet to advance in the King of the Ring tournament. Zoe Stark beat Ivy Nile to advance in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Chad Gable faced Bronson Reed, but was then attacked by Sami Zayn, causing a DQ. This then led to Bronson Reed attacking both Zayn and Chad Gable. And I feel like this exact same thing has happened before. Because I feel like I remember mentioning last week how it seems like they're building to a triple threat for the IC title, which was then confirmed on this show, with Zayn challenging both Reed and Gable to a triple threat at the King and Queen of the Ring event. So that seems fitting, and that should be a real fun match. Cool. Speaking of injuries, Asuka was also pulled from the Queen of the Ring tournament and was replaced by Damage Control teammate Dakota Kai in a match against Lyra Valkyrie. Lyra Valkyra. Again, I'm terrible with last names. Lyra then beat Dakota Kai in order to advance in the Queen of the Ring. So both of the people in this match were in the Queen of the Ring, but only one actually won. Way to go, Iyo. And in the main event, Gunther beat Sheamus to advance in the King of the Ring tournament, thanks to some interference from Ludwig Kaiser. So basically every single match in this show was either a King of the Ring match or a Queen of the Ring match. And a lot of them were really good. A lot of the matches in this were really good. Especially the King of the Ring matches. There were some real good ones there. Especially, Sheamus versus Gunther was, of course, probably the match of the night. But it wasn't like, there were some contenders there. Like Dragunov versus Ricochet was amazing as well. And moving on to SmackDown, Nick Aldis brought out Cody Rhodes and introduced him to his next challenger for the Undisputed title, United States Champion Logan Paul. Really? Okay. He announced that the two of them will be facing each other at the next event in Saudi Arabia, which actually kind of makes sense because they always, whenever they do those Saudi Arabia shows, they always try to get the biggest, names, the most popular people, the people who have the most name value, I mean. Now, they're billing this as champion versus champion, but I don't believe both championships are on the line. I think it's just Cody's title. But yeah, I think it's safe to assume we know that Cody will be walking out of that event as champion as well. Let's see. Nia Jax beat Naomi to advance in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Carmelo Hayes beat Baron Corbin to advance in the King of the Ring tournament. Jade Cargill beat Piper Niven to advance in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Ow. 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 Someone else just shouted ow. Oh no. Oh no. Gotcha. Bianca Belair beat Candice LeRae to advance in the Queen of the Ring. So both Jade and Bianca, remember, the reigning tag team champions, are both in the Queen of the Ring tournament, and they both just advanced to the next round. So it'll be interesting to see if, you know, the two of them end up facing off, and let's see who WWE decides to go with. This will be very telling to see who WWE is more, I don't know what the term is, has more faith in or has bigger plans for. It'll be very interesting to see these two and see who goes further, especially if they end up going against each other and what that means for them as a team. Tama Tonga beat Angelo Dawkins to advance in the King of the Ring tournament. And in the main event, Randy Orton beat AJ Styles to advance in the King of the Ring tournament. Man, poor AJ. He comes back, is in the best shape of his life, and he's just losing. Loses the world title match, loses the first round of the King of the Ring. It's like, come on, man. Give him a break. Give him something. Let him beat Logan. Give him one more title run. And something else I want to mention about some future implications for, you know, teammates. As I mentioned before, Gunther beat Sheamus thanks to some assistance from Kaiser. Now, it didn't seem like Gunther really needed the assistance. It looks like Ludwig kind of came out on his own and made that decision himself. So it'll be interesting to see if this also plays a, you know, part into their future storyline with Gunther being upset that, you know, Ludwig was coming out without, you know, Gunther telling him to, and almost like the unspoken implication that Kaiser thought Gunther can't beat these people on his own. If this becomes a recurring thing with Ludwig coming out during Gunther's matches. So again, it'll be interesting to see where this goes in terms of their story. And man, poor Drew. I mean, again, like I said before, we knew he was injured, but the fact that it's extensive enough that he's no longer allowed to wrestle. Now, whether that's a legitimate thing or it's all story and part of his, you know, feud with CM Punk, you know, like Drew costing Punk, you know, the ability to his ability to wrestle, and now Punk costing Drew his ability to wrestle. This could be a storyline thing, or Drew could be legitimately injured. Based on the promos that have been going on, even if it is legitimate, they're really playing into it or using it for the story. As Raw basically became like a cartoon with Drew McIntyre hunting down CM Punk, and then he finally gives up, and then CM Punk just randomly shows up immediately after Drew leaves. That's been a recurring theme for the last couple weeks now. It's actually pretty funny. Whoa. Alright. Put her away. Ow. 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 Ooh. Oh, there we go. Alright. No. Hey, roll back over. There we go. Okay, perfectly set up for the moonsault. Let's go. Run, 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 run. No. Get back down there. Ooh. Come here. You're done. Alright, well that does it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of Backlash. Were you expecting the women's tag titles to change hands? Were you expecting any other titles to change hands that didn't? And kind of, who are your predictions to win the King and Queen of the Ring? King of the Ring for me, it's gotta be Gunther. I feel like that's a pretty safe bet. Not SmackDown. The Queen of the Ring, that's a bit trickier. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what they go, if they go with either Bianca or Jade. I think right now they're the two favorites. It'll be interesting to see who they go with, if they go with either of them. But yeah, I think right now they're the two favorites probably. So we'll have to see. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and make new videos all the time. Stay tuned for next week's Versus and next week where we continue our Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham walkthrough. Hope you guys enjoyed. Guy01 and the Genius of the Sky, Iyo Sky, signing out. Bye guys.